neighbors China as we are talking about, and despite the challenges posed by higher altitudes and different terrain, the Indian Air Force has sort of deployed advanced aircraft and surveillance systems to closely monitor a neighbor who has a history of questionable intentions. I mentioned this before as well. Now, the bilateral relationship between India and China has been strained due to a history of China's non-adherence to agreements, and this strain has become particularly evident in 2023. Now, the Galwan clash in 2020 and subsequent incidents at the LAC have prompted the Indian forces to intensify efforts to secure the boundaries, especially in the eastern Ladakh sector. Now, the bilateral relationship between India and China, as we are talking about it, has been strained due to a history of China's non-adherence to the agreements, and this strained relationship has become particularly evident in 2023, and the Galwan clash in 2020 and subsequent incidents at LAC have prompted the Indian forces to intensify efforts to secure the boundaries, especially in the eastern Ladakh sector. Strategically positioned fighter aircraft such as Rafale, Su-30 MKI and MiG-29 have been deployed in proximity to forward areas. To give us more details on that, I have CNN News 18's Akash with me back on the phone line. Akash, could you give us more details about what exactly are we breaking to our viewers?
Right. So, Sakshi, you see, Indian Air Force has an important role to play as far as borders are concerned, and specifically we talk about line of actual control. So, we know that how in 2020 a deadliest clash happened between India and China, where we lost 20 of our brave jawans. And during that time, in fact, Indian Air Force played a major role. At this point in time, while we are talking about, the diplomatic channels, while we are talking about the core commander level meetings, the fact is that China is constantly building infrastructure alongside the line of actual control, and not just the infrastructure, but in the recent years we have seen that how the number of troops have been increased. Several sort of radar and surveillance systems have been deployed across the border, and similarly we here in India are reciprocating that particular thing. So as far as Indian Air Force's role is concerned, so we know that how Western Air Command of Indian Air Force has the charge of this particular area, Eastern Ladakh, and the adjacent areas. And this is the reason why we are mentioning and in fact informing our viewers that how Indian Air Force has basically deployed all its advanced surveillance systems, radars, and in fact remote operated vehicles to keep an eye on the line of actual control, specifically in Eastern Ladakh sector. Sakshi, it is important to mention that during Galwan clash, in fact, Indian Air Force played a major role in transportation, in providing, backup, in providing resources and all of those things. In fact, if we go by the information that has been given by our sources, 68,000 troops were transported at that time via Indian Air Force, and not just troops, but all our BMPs, all our tanks, all our artillery guns were transported with the help of Indian Air Force. We know that how difficult the terrain is, how challenging the weather is, and this is the reason why we have Indian Air Force an important role. Indian Air Force that is playing an important role, and this is the reason why we are informing our viewers that how Indian Air Force has actually deployed all its advanced equipments, all its advanced resources, assets at the line of actual control, given the fact that we know the intentions of China. We have seen the 2020 Galwan clash. We know about the 2020, activity in Arunachal Pradesh. And this is the reason why not just Indian Army, but also Indian Air Force is all set and all ready with its arrangements.
Well, Akash, since you mentioned the advanced aircraft being deployed in the proximity areas as well, just for our viewers, could you mention all those advanced aircraft that have been deployed and their strategic positioning also? Could you tell us more about the strategic positioning of these advanced aircrafts?
Yes, we cannot share the positions, but definitely we have Su-30 MKI, we have Rafale, and we have, in fact, all the other advanced, aircrafts as of now. MiG-29 is one of them, Sukhoi is one of them, and Rafale is one of them. All these three aircrafts are the frontline aircrafts of Indian Air Force. All these aircrafts are the advanced aircrafts of Indian Air Force. And Sakshi, whenever we talk about Indian Air Force, so Indian Air Force is not just limited to these aircrafts, but in fact, we have learned that, surface to air missiles have in fact been deployed in the area. Because you see, whenever it is about China, so everyone knows about the intention of this country. We know that how several agreements of 1996, agreement of 2005, and several other understandings. These all agreements were not considered while carrying out the activities at the on border areas and on borders specifically. And this is the reason why, in fact, our forces are ready now, and this has been categorically mentioned by not just our forces but by Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh and also by Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Okay, thank you so much, Akash, for bringing in all those crucial details. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates. Right now, we have some more breaking news coming in.